point. I'm not gonna do all that.
Oh yeah.
That's why I didn't want to do all that. But Dofi, if you just say this, I'm giving the point to you. But I have recording right now. I'm gonna look at it right now. Sonic, how long into the point did you say it?
I'm not too sure. I think it was around. I think it was like I don't know, like fucking 2 minutes into the point.
The point was like 5 minutes, bro.
So
yeah,
like,
I'll just do
a minute or two.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Cause both y'all can just stall and pack real quick.
Okay, I got it, bro.
Fucking pack is crazy. Quint, if you want, Quint said you like beat the shit out of Geass, so you could debate him on verdict, I guess.
No, it looks like Geass is ducking, bro. Geass is still on mute.
Nigga, bro. All right, all right, I'm getting a headache for this nigga. We could debate it tomorrow because this nigga, I don't know who Geass is.
Sounds like a BOR to me, my nigga. OR to me, I don't know. But I mean, like, sure, we can continue tomorrow. We can look over first.
Bro, why
would see how I like hoed the fuck out of you on the first point.
Sure, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm not saying that.
Oh, so you're agreeing that I hoed you on the first point? Okay, nice. All right, yeah, sure, nice. Okay.
You're retarded.
Yeah, nigga, that's a positive claim. Go ahead, prove that, bucko. All right, yeah. Wait. So wait, what's the nigga's name? Autism. Mentality. Can you save the recording, please? And like, dim it to me.
Okay, are you conceding? Because I never said I was done.
He said the nigga with autism. That's fucked up.
All right. Well, no. I thought
I know
you were
you're
like,
talking, but how do I have autism?
You
said like you said like I
oh
said
my
like
God.
multiple times
mentality,
already, but, like,
mentality.
You said that I've said like multiple times, but you haven't proved it yet.
Mentality.
Come
Oh wait.
on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Hold up. Right. We can debate if you have autism or not. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you said you had the scans of it, so
you
you
have
show me
tendency
it.
of autism.
Well, no, that's not what you said. You've already said that, like,
right? Therefore, we
you
can
have like
have
pictures
autism.
of me saying that I have
Nice,
autism.
nice,
So like,
GG.
why don't you just like
Nice,
show
GG.
me
Nice,
wherever
GG.
I
Nice,
said
GG.
it?
Nice, GG.
Like, come on, bro.
Nice,
Come on,
GG.
bro.
Nice, GG.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Nice.
It's not deep, bro. Come on. Come on.
Come on, bro.
Come on. Exactly, bro. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Yo, I'm going to mute it.
He said the nigga with autism. He's fucked up.
Hello?
This VC died.
I forgot what character I'm taking. Like, I'm so dead ass.
Faggot.
I forgot who I'm using.
Yo, Dark, you're a faggot.
Oh,
All right.
Comp Planeswalker. They're
Sonic,
coming together.
Whoever muted me, you a bitch.
Ooh, you gonna take that?
Quinns, are you finished or do you still want to continue?
I just said we can finish. We might as well.
All right. Or yeah.
But regardless,
Yo, Quinns. At 12:51, he did say, "Oh, I'm saying
yeah,
that."
bitch, I won the point, fat neck ass nigga.
Nah, Quinns. At 12:51, he said, "I'm attacking it." It just means I don't know why this is a logical assumption. I'm calling into question this. He did say about that about Occam's razor. He did say that out loud.
Okay. So
yeah. So nice.
Oh, there's a verdict there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So I did win the point. Does it correlate? Nice. You can move on. You can go on to like your
Hold on.
scaling.
The Occam's razor shit is so rad, dog. This is the way you did that. Like, that's so rad.
Wait, no, he's trying to call BOR because he brings up 80 points while I'm like server muted, and then I don't address all 80 points. The nigga's a loser. What are we talking about?
At this point, y'all want to watch Geass versus Quinns on Judgment?
No, because like that nigga clearly got hooked.
Nobody cares about this, bro. Honestly,
like,
I'm not gonna hold
you. No one really cares if Quinns is better than Dofi or not. I'm not gonna hold you.
I don't care. I don't care.
Bro, I'd rather see Geass versus.
Yeah, God, that's what I'm saying. Too. Can we please just watch that?
That's just a next session. That's just like a nigga getting like his ass whooped. I don't know.
Yo, Geass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no offense, though. For me, goes. No, I'm just kidding.
See,
oh, no, I'm not gonna hold you, Ice. What he does in every single scenario is just applies. He just applies a contrary.
I'm just an ultimate troll, bro.
But
Ice on his knees.
Wait, hold up, Quinn. So you dropping your Madoka scaling? Sounds like you're disengaging to me, my boy. I don't know.
I think Quince is deafened. Yeah, he's deafened.
I'm using comp magic together.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Oh
I think anybody in VC is losing at the moment.
Does Quince want to get slammed right now?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Hey,
fuck
Geass,
those
we debate
niggas. No
after that?
offense. Like, get Quince in.
Wait.
You do this every. No, you have a cycle you do every month.
We can say this. Do you want to debate or not?
Chill out.
No, I just said no,
Okay,
bitch.
so I
What?
thought.
Hey, hold on.
You have a
Hold on.
cycle you go through every month where you
Yeah,
beat
you
Bro,
could
trying to
lose
get
that cycle every
his
month,
weekly
bitch.
amp,
slam.
bro.
Yeah.
No, literally every month you come back with some new
He
like
want his
Reaper
monthly
upscale.
Zenkai
Like,
boost,
why
I
bro.
not?
told you,
Yeah,
Geass. We debated
exactly.
once in the last 4 months. Like you're just ratting
No,
out
we
your
didn't.
ass,
No,
boy.
we did not. What?
Yeah, we did.
Whoa.
You were okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Delusional.
Anyway,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
Geass
But
versus
Quince,
Quince. Let's go. Let's
Hold
do
on.
it.
Give me a
Quince,
second.
you want to get
I'll
slammed?
leave this real quick. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh
Alright.
my god.
Take your time.
Take your time is crazy. I can't lie.
Anybody play this Redfall game on Xbox? This shit kind of fire.
I'm
Bro,
not
I bet
gonna lie.
Reaper. I think Reaper plays it, bro. Play him in that, bro.
Oh, what? You're just
I'm not
mean.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, bro. We killed Dude in Civ, bro. We killed
Reaper, bro, I'm
Dude
trying
in
to help
Civ,
you out, bro. Damn. What the fuck?
Nah,
I'm not
what?
though. Like, nah, but he doesn't want to debate. He doesn't want to debate. That's simple. I'm not gonna press him about it.
I'm trying to get you that Zenkai boost, bro. Relax. Damn.
Reaper, you gotta
So,
beat
Geass,
D1
I got a
before
question for
debate
you.
Mila, bro.
I got a question for you. So, how do you feel that you scale
Wait.
like 6-year-olds?
What?
Reaper, do you feel like you can beat D1 yet?
Me and him debated yesterday. I don't know. I think I already beat D1. I'll go with you.
Whoa.
I mean,
Okay.
instead
Can
of
you
hiding, no,
definitively-
wait a minute. Here, instead of hiding behind D1, why don't we just run the ones? It's not that hard.
Oh,
I already slammed you recently.
Wait, shut up. That's not
do this
you,
every
Geass.
month.
Detroit, would you be down to debate Geass again?
oh, we
Detroit
want to
getting
see
slammed
that.
again. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Turn on that philosopher mic, bitch.
Not really.
Oh my, you're such a.
He got slammed the last time. Oh my god.
Alright.
Wait, Detroit,
wasn't-
Detroit, just do
Mika's
it
not
for
really
server
worth the
activity.
time.
I'll mute up these
Come on,
faggots
get your
in the
get back.
background.
Get your get back.
You guys can re-debate on the LEM or
I'm
something. Oh, you
Chris,
guys can
I
wait. You guys can debate on theism. You guys can debate on theism because Geass is a theist, probably.
I don't have any real I troll in my theism debates, but okay, sure.
Oh,
This
so you
story,
wouldn't
stop
debate
being
that?
that bait.
Okay.
I
So
like
what about
I only debate theism to troll the theology debaters in this community. I don't actually debate it.
Hey, debate fallen god like this nigga be in the shadows for real.
Yeah, Fallen God is a beast, but he
Detroit,
but
what
I'm
else do you debate?
Oh, destroyer, I'm mute up. My mic up, destroyer. Little philosophy, bitch.
Bro, shut up. Anyway, what were you saying?
Sending one of Apollo's fathers.
I just want to see Quince versus fucking Geass.
Yeah, so
This is
Detroit, what do
good.
you think about what do you think about you guys re-debating on the LEM? Because he actually believes he won. And remember we had a conversation on the LEM and I granted that there was some miscomprehension on my part with respects to what you're trying to convey in that debate. But he thinks I'm just switching up for the sake of switching up. Right. So I would like you to exemplify to him why it is the case that the LEM is
He's
false
basically
based on
saying
your
win the debate this time.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
Now,
that
that's
guy
crazy.
didn't.
I can just never take that.
Bro,
He
shut
didn't.
up. Why
He
the
didn't
niggas not
understand.
know when to shut up?
He didn't
bro?
understand
Yeah.
any of the issues and didn't track anything I said. So it's unless
No,
I
you
expect
just
it
got
to change
you
this
just got
time,
slammed, you big headed
I don't
fucking
see
dork. Shut your fat
I
ass
don't
up,
see
bitch.
the
I didn't
point
say
in
shit,
doing it
bitch.
again.
I know you can't see me through the motherfucking binoculars, you old ass dirty bitch. But you had to realize you got fucking slammed by a goat, bitch. I'm a goat in this shit, bitch. And you a motherfucking amateur, you dumbass nigga.
Yeah, so this is what I'm
For real
talking
though,
about.
let's cut the
Yeah.
pack and shit. Yeah, so would you be down to have a civil debate with him with no insults?
I didn't pack him the last time. I just owed him.
Not
Yeah, I know.
really, because
No, really,
I wouldn't
really,
be
bitch. No,
down.
really.
No, I was responding to Apollo. I wouldn't be down because it's just a waste of my time.
Been on Discord for 6 years and still last. Can it be me?
Isn't Detroit much better than you, bro? Like, what are you talking about?
So he got slammed on the LEM. He doesn't want to get slammed again. That's fair. I respect that.
Yeah.
I see this
Easy
Reaper
claps.
versus Quince, bro.
Easy claps. Damn, I'm fear hacking tier zeros. Damn.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about, right?
Hey, Bubbles versus
You
Jester, nigga, what the fuck? I'm going.
notice when I slam them is a problem. When they say they slam is a problem, though. It's not a problem.
Wait, you really
Like,
debated him? Was it in D1 server?
Yes, I slammed the fuck out of him. Like bad. Like bad, bro.
Wait, who was the topic?
Whether language is vague in reality, basically.
I thought the story
See,
was
that's
like a
not- that
philosophy
wasn't
nigga,
even
bro.
a
How'd he
topic.
lose?
I thought he was a filler.
He didn't even understand anything I said.
No, it really was.
Wait, let's just listen to what the Chargers has got to say.
Well, let's ask Apollo. Apollo, who won?
Ice, bro. I'm sorry.
I think the Char won currently, but it doesn't matter. Let the Char just explain himself.
Noonish is a time between noon and 1 p.m.
Yeah, but the Char, what were you gonna say about the debates and how it did not track without you guys interrupting?
I won't go into detail, but it's not. I mean, all I was saying was that he didn't understand the issue or the issues. I'm not even sure he understands what the law school even says, and he didn't understand anything that I said, like the argument that I was making. No, it's not worth it.
Do you want to explain LEM?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll explain it real quick. I don't give a fuck what you want. LEM is saying there's exclusively either a true or false proposition value. There's nothing in between, and there's no denial of both. It's just saying exclusively true or false, right? There's no middle ground. Yeah.
Close. Yeah. So this is not saying it's saying that there's no other truth value. It doesn't rule out that something could have both.
Said. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But we can be pedantic, but that's literally exactly what I said.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I do understand it. You saying I didn't understand was false. Fuck.
No, that was
what?
That being the one thing.
Oh my god!
So this,
he doesn't understand the LEM.
When I
explains LEM. Okay, yeah, you do understand it. Sorry, yeah.
So that's not what I said. I did. First of all, I didn't say.
Apollo, did he not just say he
My
doesn't
remarks
think I
were about
understand the LEM?
First of all, I said I didn't think you understood it. Right? Maybe you learned it
Okay,
better.
so I
since
do
then.
understand it. Thank you, GG.
Yes, my remarks were about the time we talked, not about now.
Okay, so can you prove at that point in time I still didn't understand LEM? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, my reason for thinking that was the fact that first of all, you aren't familiar with any of the literature on this topic. You didn't track anything that was said about it, and you started by responding. Your first remark in support of your position was to argue from the problems regarding explosion, which is just a laughable mistake, right? It's just to talk about something entirely irrelevant. And so that's why I was thinking at the time you didn't understand the issue, and you certainly weren't tracking the arguments I was making. But this is just like I don't know. I don't. This is not really worth.
I mean, you can just say I don't understand. I don't know. Okay, cool. This is your ass. I'm sorry. This piece of shit.
Anyway. Carry on with
anyway, besides your grandma loose ass pussy, what else?
This nigga, bro. But
this dude is ass. Apollo, he's ass. He literally just claims like some knowledge, like God status or some shit. Bitch,
no, I mean,
he just said, I don't think you understand the LEM.
Yes, if I'm going to be honest, if we're talking about like in terms of like, and then if the topics I do in philosophy, he's like one of the few persons who could perhaps be in the server. So yes, he's pretty good. You just have a bias against him because of like you guys are the beef or whatever, you know.
He's a knowledge guardian, like sucks. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. What's next?
What about Fallen God? Fallen God, would you debate Geass?
Who is this Fallen God?
Another beast in the server.
He's probably a nigga I'll slap up.
Yeah, you would. Bro, I'm telling you. Like, Reaper can tell you, bro. But anyway, Fallen God, could you talk right now in VC? That's if you're in call, by the way. Would you guys run like a mock theology debate, like, no, just for the sake of it?
I mean, if it's like no packing or anything like that, then yeah, sure.
Okay,
I don't actually do. Again, I don't do theology. I literally just troll people.
Oh well, why not troll Fallen God in it?
It's not a good argument. If he's any good, why would I debate him with the? I mean, I could just troll in an argument, but that's not really a useful part of my time.
Wait, but he said the char is ass, so why didn't you troll the char with it if you think he's ass?
Yeah.
Hello?
Wait, what'd you say?
I was saying that you think Detroit is ass, right? So why didn't you just troll Detroit with the argument you have for God's existence?
No, I'm just packing him. I don't actually think he's complete ass.
Oh, okay.
I've said consistently I think he's
Mhm.
good. I just yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's see. So fallen God. Wait, you don't even believe in Platonism, right, Geass?
What do you mean by Platonism?
Do you believe that like abstract objects exist? Do you believe that mathematical objects exist like as an abstract object?
Okay, as an abstract object, you mean just something with properties, or is there
Yeah,
more?
something
to
with.
No,
that?
so like things like numbers, maybe they exist in some sense, maybe like outside of space time. It's just like a sort of object in itself.
Okay, so just a non-physical existence.
Yeah, but in particular, things like numbers, maybe properties, relations, propositions, stuff like that, universals.
Okay, yeah,
or
I'm
some
not looking for
substance
like a
more.
list. I'm asking more so, what do you mean by exist, and in what way or what category?
It's just an object that it's sort of not it's not part of like the universe or something like that. It's like, look, there's only so much that I can say here without, while remaining sort of neutral on different sort of approaches to this. But these are what people say.
I don't know. I'll be honest, I have no idea. Yeah. Detroit, would you debate my friend D1?
What was it that I talked with him about the last time? I don't even remember.
I can't.
Was it the same topic or was it something else?
No.
Well, I was asking him if he was a Platonist, right? So, if he believes in the existence of the abstracta, but he doesn't seem to have any.
He seems undecided on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he fully understands what we mean by abstract objects, but it would just be something which is an immaterial substance. So something which has existential form, but it exists outside of space-time relations or any of that.
Yeah, but,
I know what
but you want to be a bit
abstract is,
careful.
but I don't.
You want to be a bit careful
You said the short?
because yeah, but I just want to say you want to be a bit careful there because you don't want to be so broad to include things like God, right? If God exists, maybe he's an immaterial substance, but you don't want to call him an abstract thing, right? I mean, maybe you do. I don't know, but like I think a lot of people.
I don't see the. I mean, I take it that like when people usually talk about the abstract objects, you're talking about like platonic objects, and God isn't usually considered to be a part of that category. It's usually considered to be either the cause of these platonic objects or something which transcends these platonic
but he's saying like
Right.
just saying like the way that you kind of conditionalize what it means to be like a abstract object. It's going to include
Right,
God.
might be too. Yeah,
it can include God at the very least.
Yeah.
So he's
I
just saying, like,
mean,
wait.
if you want to be pedantic, you can, I guess,
Yeah,
it could be
I
close
you
to
wanna
God,
debate?
but
I concur with your assessment.
So Detroit, what else do you debate?
I really don't debate that much, to be honest. But I'm happy to talk a lot of philosophy talks.
Okay. What do you think about race realism?
I don't have a lot of thoughts about it, to be honest.
All right.
I think, I'd probably go with whatever the current consensus is on that. But I don't. There's a lot of stuff in like politics. And
what about
the
the philosophy of
don't talk
time?
about.
What's your guys' position on that?
I don't have a strong position, to be honest.
I definitely lean towards these theoretic views because of
Geass, they believe in like, because I remember D1 was saying, Detroit, I don't know if you remember D1, but
I
remember when he was trying.
I don't remember. What did we talk about? I don't remember. But I remember
He was on Brew Contingency, and you blocked him. He was one of the few persons.
That's right. That's right. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Hey, bro. Damn, D1 how interior 0? Damn. Hey.
So D1 basically was saying that Brew Contingency is not possible. I wonder if Geass holds that same view, that it is not possible for there to be some contingent factor or entity with no causal exponents. Do you believe there can be like an uncaused contingent fact, Geass?
I don't have an opinion.
Oh, okay. Let's see. That. Well, you guys could debate on like some cognitive science. Oh, you guys can debate on the philosophy of mind. What's your position on the mind, Geass? Do you believe it is immaterial or material?
I don't. I want to be honest. If I'm being honest, I don't know, but maybe I could take a position.
Okay, so not Geass. Detroit is a physicalist.
What's Detroiter's stance?
Yeah, he's a physicalist. He believes the mind is material, and there's more evidence suggesting the mind being material. So, what would you?
That's my stance.
That's what you do.
Oh.
I mean, I can debate either side of that.
Oh, you could take the materials. You could take the mind being the material, Detroit.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many arguments that people have made for that I could just, I could just run. I can just run shit.
Oh, okay.
All right, can we have if we debate that,
it's...
have D1 judge?
No, bro, come on, bro.
Yeah, let's just do that. It's external to. I mean, you don't care to talk
but D1, but I think it would be better if I judge, because there's no reason for it. Nobody's gonna say why. I'm unbiased and know more about the topic.
No, I think you'd be riding Detroit right now, but
I'm riding Detroit because I think he is more knowledgeable than me, which is really true.
But you're admitting you're riding him. I'm not.
But how is that riding? Like a lot of persons would grant the idea that D1 is gonna most likely judge in your favor because you guys are really close.
How about if he has some bullshit judgment, you guys can overturn it? How about that?
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, then D1 can judge.
All right, D1, like that.
Yeah, James, mic up, James. Yeah, D1 is good. It's good, D1.
All right.
What's up? Like,
all right, Detroit. Would you like to start? Would you like me to start?
Wait, what am I defending?
Immaterial.
I'm defending that it's immaterial.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll start. What should I go with? I guess I'll use knowledge argument, two-dimensional semantics argument, and Leibniz nil. I'll go for those three arguments, and then if you want me to, I can state them if you're not familiar. I assume you're not.
No, use one argument, bitch.
Use one argument.
I mean, you can go through three arguments if you want to, but I'd prefer you. Is it okay if we go argument by argument? Yeah.
Wait, what's the debate?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, just explain them as well too, because some of those I'm not even familiar with.
Yeah, fair enough. So the first one I mentioned was the Mary's Room argument. This was an argument put forth by Frank Jackson in his 1984, I think, article, Epiphenomenal Qualia. The basic idea is this, right? If the mind is something physical, right, something that's part of this kind of material world, then you should know all the facts about the mind if you knew all the physical facts. Right?
Wait, why?
Because it's part of the physical facts.
Why does that
so if you knew all the physical facts, it's because if the mind is a physical thing, right? If mental facts are physical facts, then if you knew all the physical facts, you knew all the mental facts.
I don't. Maybe I'm not understanding. What do you mean by physical facts?
Facts about all the physical things, right? Facts about physical.
Oh,
things.
Okay. Facts about maybe natural facts or something like that.
If you want to use that word, for the sake of brevity, I'm not giving a kind of rigorous account of what physical or natural means. But
sure. What are mental facts then?
Oh yeah, just facts about mental states. My pain state, for example, or my visual experiences, whatever.
Okay, so things that are governed by your psyche, right?
Those things that are psychological or kind of phenomenal or experience-like, that sort of stuff.
Okay, cool. So can you repeat that if condition again?
Right. So if the mind, mental states were physical, they're like part of the material world, then if you knew all the physical facts, you'd also know all the mental facts.
Yeah.
The mental stuff
basically,
if
you knew everything about the external world, and your mind is a part of the external world, you know about your mind as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but in particular, if your mind was a part of the physical external world, right? And if you know the physical facts about the external world, then you'd know.
Okay, go
about
ahead.
the mind.
Yeah.
So-
wait, hold on. I agree. You could. Can I give a response to that claim or not?
Yeah. Well, this isn't really the main argument yet, but you can respond if you want.
Yeah, I agree. It's possible to know all the physical facts if you know, or know the mental facts if you know all the physical facts. But for example, there are physical phenomena that we don't even understand, and we have, as far as the macro world, we have all the physical. Well, what seems to be most of the relevant facts, right? And so I don't see how that's true if we're still discovering physical phenomena.
Right, but this is just the point that if we were to have all the physical facts, we would have as well the mental facts because they're kind of contained within. In the same way that you would think like all the physical facts, we didn't have all the facts about fucking stars, because stars are physical things. All right, so that's just the first point. Now we're gonna imagine this scenario, so it's like hypothetical, where there's this brilliant color scientist, right? Her name's Mary, and she learns sort of everything there is to know about physics, about color, vision, the brain processes, the eye, the optic nerve, and whatever, the acetylcholine optic, whatever, And she's brilliant. She learns all these physical facts, right? However, in her life, she's never seen color. She's colorblind, or she's like in a black and white room from birth. Never seen any color. Okay.
Oh, are you going to talk about her quail yet? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, right? Here's what the argument says. If knowing all the physical facts would be sufficient to know all the facts about mind, experiences, qualia, then in the room she would know all the facts about, say, experiences of color.
So she would know what red is like when she first sees it. Okay.
Yeah, so when she goes outside and suppose she now sees red for the first time, she has that new experience. If she knew all the physical facts, she wouldn't learn something new, right?
She's not. Yeah, this is an answer before. Let me just.
Yeah.
This is retarded. Yeah, she knows that the color red exists. She knows the EM wave, electromagnetic wavelength that's associated with the color red. She just has an experience, right? So that phenomenology is something that's new to her. It's just qualia. That doesn't denote a new physical fact. It just denotes a sensation, right? Which isn't a fact. Okay.
No, but
it's not a fact.
The point is not that she has experience that she hasn't had before. That's granted by the argument, right? The point is that she learns something about that experience that she didn't know before.
What does she learn?
Right? She learns what it's like to see red.
That's an experience. It's not a fact. You're conflating two things. That feeling or that sensation is not a fact. A fact is just something that corresponds with reality, right? Are you just saying that she? Yeah. Are you saying that she understands sensation?
Well, she understands something about sensations that she didn't understand before.
She experienced, right? But is phenomenology
that having the experience is what leads her to that understanding?
Well, she experiences. To have an experience is what it means to experience. Okay,
that's right.
So what I said is right. But when she experiences that new sensation, is that a fact? That's my question. And if so, what do you mean by fact?
It is a fact that she had a new experience, right? But that's not the thing that I'm saying that she learns when she has that experience.
Then what does she learn?
The experience. She learns what it's like to see red, and what it's like to see red is not just the fact of having that experience. Having that experience leads her to develop that knowledge, right? But it is not itself.
Are you saying she felt a new feeling, and feeling that new feeling is the fact she gains?
No. That's exactly what I'm denying, right? Of course, having a new feeling, there being a new experience that didn't occur previously is a quote-unquote new fact. But that's not the new thing she learns. She learns something new about color experiences, right?
I don't agree. It doesn't. Maybe you could write out, because I feel like you're saying the same thing twice, but explaining in one way that it's not a fact, and in the same breath using it I think you're changing
No, no.
the phrasing just a bit so that it seems like she's learning something new. But would you mind writing out the two things you're saying she is and is not learning?
Okay, sure. I'm on mobile, so just take a minute.
Because I feel like this is going to lead to something that is like tautologically what you're saying the case and not the case, right?
Yeah. So I'll just say it again quickly, and then I'll write it down. What she is learning. Sorry, there is a new fact concerning her having experience she hadn't had before, right? But that's not the relevant sort of new fact that's being learned. What's being relevant is learning something about experiences of that sort, events of that sort that she didn't know before. So let me put it down.
Could you write this down? Because I think it's going to look the exact same when you say it's not and is the case. Would you write it in Scan's chat, though? Because there's a lot of typing in the general chat.
I'm writing in the voice text or whatever, the one that's associated with the voice channel.
Awesome.
Because I don't think there's much chat in there.
Okay. And he's supposed to get 3 arguments? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I was going to give 3, but I don't know if we're going to get it. Also, I don't know. I said the two-dimensional semantics one because it's going to require a good deal of kind of background.
I actually have seen this thought experiment before, so I guess I just didn't know the name. But
it's one of the more well-known ones in the philosophy mind.
Yeah.
Of course, the guy who originally wrote it no longer accepts it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What was the third one you mentioned?
Bro, Juster versus a bubble should end so they can steal their activity. Get like 50 people.
Hey, stop playing. Detroit, bro, I'm going to teach you, bro. I'll take you under my wing after this, bro. Don't worry. Just let me know when you're ready, bro. On the game. So.
Okay, I wrote it. Let me see. Even read the parts in it, whatever.
All right. Bro, you wrote way more fast book. Okay. She does have a new experience, and so it is a fact that she. Wait. That this is gonna run into some questions.
That's the ones I'm saying is not the relevant meaning. Yeah.
Okay, and now you're gonna write the relevant experience or fact she learned.
Yeah, it's in the sentence after that.
Okay, she doesn't. She learned something. Okay. What's a new fact about red experience? I don't. Okay, which is that she learned something about experience. Okay, what is the phrase "what it's like to see red"? What does that mean? You can answer when you're free.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually one of my concerns with the argument, so I'm just gonna start bullshitting now. It has to do with her understanding the sort of, I don't know, phenomenal quality of the experience, some feature of it.
So you think that phenomenal? I don't know what that means, but that phenomenal quality is a fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what proposition, if you were to state it in a proposition, what would that look like? Right. A fact.
One second.
What is it saying about what is it corresponding to in the world? What is that, if you were to connect it to language, what would that look like?
Yeah, so sorry, can you hear me? I had to go.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fact about her experience, right? Or a fact about experiences of that sort, right? That they feel a certain way, that there's something it's like to have an experience of that sort. Now,
Okay, so
if
are
your
you
question
saying
was how could we express that more kind of informatively in language, maybe it's not so easy to do so, but I think a lot of people understand what we're saying when we talk about, what it's like to have an experience of a certain sort.
My question, I still just don't see how that corresponds to a fact, right? When we say, I don't know, what's something that's not gross? What it's like to drink your first beer. You would now say I have the fact of the sensory experience of what it's like to drink that beer. But I don't see how that's a fact. What do you define a fact to be?
Right here, we're just thinking about facts as, stuff that occurs or features of things, or for example, that in this, like, for example, it's a fact that she had a particular experience, or that you had an experience of drinking beer or whatever. But it's also a fact about that experience of that sort, like feel a certain way, right? And like,
do they feel a certain? Let me ask you something more clarifying. Do they feel a certain way to specific people, or do they feel a certain way in general? As far as some objective feature.
Well, there's going to be commonalities between the experiences that different people have, presumably. I mean, you might deny this, but like we think that although our experiences might differ in some ways, there's going to be some commonalities. For example,
yeah, like pricking your finger is similar, seems similar to a lot of people, right?
Right. So there's something general to be said about what experiences of that sort feel like, right? And we don't have to just appeal to individual instances to talk about like those individual feelings,
Sure. Yeah, I agree. There's some similarities between sensations, but what my major question still is, what? Okay, so a fact is just something that's reported to occur in reality.
Sure. I mean,
I'm
you
trying
could
to
think
get
of
a solid definition, but
yeah, look, you can think of a fact as something that's is being reported by a true proposition or true claim about the world, right?
Okay. So I agree it's the fact that she experienced something, right? But I think that's a state about the physical world, or the external world, right? Because that experience is something that occurred inside of, you can call it a chemical reaction, you can call it the interaction between light and matter, whatever you want to call it. But energy and matter interactions, of course, we agree are physical, yeah.
Energy and matter interactions are physical, yeah.
Yeah,
but
okay, exactly. But wait, let me finish. Wait. I was trying to just get your yes or no so I could finish the argument. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. If that's the case, I agree with that proposition referring to some fact, but I believe it again is some, I think we just agreed, is some physical phenomena or some physical fact. When she understands what it's like to experience a new color, if you want to say that feeling, let me just be clear. Are you saying that feeling in and of itself, that specific feeling, right? The seeing of red is a fact?
Well, the fact that she saw red or had an experience of that sort is a fact, right?
Okay, I think I just explained why that's a physical fact. So if that's all you're saying, maybe we could move on.
Look, I get it on your view. I think that feeling, that experience, is realized in some way by energy and matter or something, maybe in the brain or something like that. And that's fine to have as a view. But the point of this argument is to try to show that that's incorrect. Because if that's all it were, then she could have all the knowledge about those sorts of facts, right? About brain processes, energy and matter and so on, without having had the experience. But nevertheless, we think she learned something new about those sorts
But
of
doesn't
experiences when she has
okay,
it.
yeah. So if you're just saying the feeling itself is what grants some new experience, some new fact, I would just say, is it feasible that she's just never had that experience before, and that the only way to gain that information is through, I guess, testing or some posteriori method, which is coming into contact with, I don't know, an electromagnetic wave of like 300 nanometers, right? Whatever it is. And so that experience is something that she could have, right? So long as she posteriori verified it through coming into contact with that EM spectrum, right? I don't see the
Yeah, right. So
I don't see.
like
Yeah, go ahead.
it's either there's one of two things that you might be saying here, right? Either you're saying that there are these facts that she just wouldn't have access to in her knowing, even though she knows physical facts, and she would need to have a particular sort of experience or investigation or to get these facts about experiences, which is actually just sort of granting the argument, because it would be entailing that it would just entail that the facts in question are not part of those physical facts that she already had access to. Now, the other thing you might be saying is that there's some limitation, in principle limitation, on which physical facts she can understand, absent this sort of investigation.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm.
Like what sort of
I'm
physical
saying.
facts she can understand in the room.
Yeah, I'm saying what can she understand a priori, her own personal experience, and certain facts she can only understand or come to know posteriori, right? And that's where I'm making that meaningful distinction. There's just two classes of physical facts that can be known, right? So that's why I don't think it's a defeater in any way. But
yeah, so this is a sort of response, and there's a lot that can be said on this. I'll just say a couple of things briefly.
Yeah.
If we think that the physical stuff is the sort of stuff we can sort of describe third personally or with our physical theories, like laws of physics and whatever, biochemical descriptions and so on, then it seems weird to think that, oh, no, but there are physical things that you just couldn't understand in that way, right? There's some things that are for some still physical, special in that you can't understand them by having these sorts of descriptions of them. You need to have like experiences of a certain sort.
Yeah, is there an
like
issue
being
with
read.
language being so vague or so undescriptive that you need external stimuli to have reactions that match these posteriori observations, right? I don't see the issue with some description not perfectly detailing, or the vagueness of language not perfectly entailing what something feels like. I don't see an issue there, right? If I tell you how, I want to use this one example, but it's gross. But
No, but look,
okay, people say what's the feel? Wait, I wasn't done. What?
Okay, go ahead.
People say, what's the feel? You know what it's like to kill a man, right? You know how that feels. You say, no, but you know the description, right? You know what it looks like for someone to die, right? Or you can at least imagine it, yeah. But that feeling may not come to you purely through a description. I don't see the issue with that. It seems obvious on its head, right?
Yeah, but that's actually part of what the argument is trying to appeal to. Like that's part of the argument, right? So, like, look, if early you were suggesting that these experiences are, something neurophysiological, something chemical, energy, matter, something. That's the sort of stuff that realizes our mental life. But we think, at least a lot of people think, that that's the sort of phenomena you can describe, that you can understand without having to have like certain phenomenal experiences. You can just have the theories of physics and neuroscience and whatever in order to understand the things in question, right? So like the thought you would need something more to understand them almost suggests that they're phenomena of a different sort, right? That aren't kind of describable wholly in these.
Yeah, why couldn't they just exist in some? They can only be known, right, or understood fully through some posteriori method. I don't see the issue with that. They're physical facts, all the same, but they just.
But no. But the initial physical facts are. We're not supposed to. We can understand everything about, say, the brain a priori. No one's saying that either, right? Presumably, there needs to be some way of either investigating or receiving this information about these physical things in order for her to have this physical knowledge, right? But
okay, I don't disagree that like investigations and experiments help determine the physical world. I don't see the issue with that.
Yeah, but the thought is that
I don't see how that's I don't see how that's incompatible with my stance.
Yeah, but the thought is that we could, in principle, have these models and descriptions of these physical phenomena, right, and just kind of fully understand them in that sense, without having to have these further. You would, if you had those models and descriptions and so on, you wouldn't also have to have like some additional sort of phenomenal experience in order to
Wait,
understand.
why is that true? What do you mean by, maybe I'm not getting fully, what do you mean by models and data and things that you're referencing? What do you mean by that?
Oh, when I'm talking about model and descriptions, I'm just talking about accounts of what exists and what sort of features they have. I mean, that's what people tend to do in science, right?
I don't know what you mean by to know. Okay, so when you say you know these things, what does that mean to say you know them because you read a description of it, basically?
So the talk about knowledge is not going to be so important here. I mean, we could just leave it as like
But
correct,
you
correct
you
belief.
keep saying I know. Yeah, I'm just asking what you mean. I'm not really discussing it. I'm just asking for your definition
of know.
Yeah, you say you know descriptions, and so that leads you to knowledge of the physical world. What does that mean, and how is that different from phenomenology? I'm not understanding.
Geass, get him, dude.
No. So
Shut up, nigga.
it's not so important. What I'm just using know in a sort of informal sense here. It's not even actually relevant because just replace any time I mentioned know with have a correct view about, because that's all that's really being.
Okay, so to understand, right?
Sure.
Okay, so if you understand this thing before she understands that there's an experience associated with seeing the color red for the first time, right, Mary? If she knows that, then she shouldn't be coming in to any new knowledge about this about
Stop
experiencing
stuttering,
it.
bitch.
Yeah,
Right,
you're
so
a cornball, but
like you could
about
here, like we could,
wait, two people just cut me off, so one of y'all gonna shut up, okay? So so there shouldn't be anything that she knows or gains knowledge from. I think this is just presupposing the conclusion, right? Sorry, but
it's presuppose. Well, I don't know. That's what the argument's trying to show. I mean, like, look, you could try to say that what she learns, either she doesn't learn something when she has a new experience, right? She doesn't learn anything new about mental states or phenomenal experiences or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
I don't see how. Are you just saying if in the case that these things are true, the conclusion will follow, which is she'll learn something new about seeing the color red for the first time?
Yeah, she'll learn something new about qualitative experiences, right? In particular, this is what it's like to see red.
I don't know that she will. I don't. Why is that true?
So, well, one thing. I mean, I don't know. I thought we already kind of passed this, but one thing to say is just like imagine yourself in her shoes, right? Like you've only ever seen, say, black and white for your whole life, and then one day you see red things for the first time. I think even if you thought that you had some sort of neurophysiological description of red qualitative experiences before, right? When you have that sort of experience, presumably you learn something new about what those experiences are like, right? Because you could point to the sort of experience.
I'll agree to this.
Okay,
You feel something new. Is that satisfactory?
But it's not just that you have an experience that you didn't have before, right?
I think it is. Like explicitly, yes, it is.
But that is something that happens, right? But the point is that you learn something more than just that you've had experience that you didn't have before. And so, like, let me
What's
put it this
the
way.
more thing? I'm still not. I don't see it. Maybe can I ask the judge to clarify?
You learn what red experiences are like, right?
I think that it's just self-referential. I'm asking what else you're doing besides experiencing it, and you're just saying you learn the experience, or what it's like to have the experience, right? And I don't know if that
to have
really
experiences of that sort. Yeah.
I don't know if that really means anything. Right?
I mean, you were giving examples of different sorts of learnings of this already, right? You said
No, I said those
already talking about.
experiences occur. I don't know that the feeling grants a new fact. That's what I've questioned the entire time.
No, but you already said something earlier. You gave an example about how you sort of learned what it's like when you had your first beer or something like that. And it's not just that you had your first beer when you hadn't had one before.
I'm saying you experience these things. I don't know that they grant a new fact. That's the thing I'm questioning.
You don't think you learn something about experiences of that sort by having those experiences?
I think the experience exists. I don't know what it even means to say I learned this new experience.
I'm not saying you learned
I don't know
experience.
that.
I don't know that you learned something about the experience. Like you learned sort of what it feels like.
I don't know what
this.
I don't know what you mean by something about the experience. Could you clarify in specific if there was some word or some group of words that you learn about the experience?
When I say about the experience, I'm like, look, we're both agreeing that these experiences occur. There's stuff, we have experiences, right?
Yes.
And they have different features, right? You can, in principle, talk about and come to understand the different features that these experiences have or can have, right? And all I'm saying is that she learns something new about experiences of that sort when she has that experience. In the same way that you kind of learn
This
what
literally
it feels
seems like question begging. I'm sorry, I don't. Can we just move on because I feel like this has gone into the same circle like 80 times. Judge, do you want to judge the point? Yo.
Yeah, no, I mean, do you want me to present another argument, or do you want to present an argument? I don't know.
We don't have to, because if you win that point, then I would have to defend my side. So there's no point in you presenting 3 arguments if you win one. So.
Fair enough. Did you want to present one?
Well, if you defended your stance, I would need to defend mine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could just wait on that and just, I presented an argument, maybe you present it. We can go from there.
Yeah, we could do that. Do you want to? You there?
D1, are you there, James?
Yo.
Sounds like a no.
His name isn't James. His name is the God D1 of debating.
What the fuck?
Sorry, guys. Philosophy D1 is not here at the moment. Sorry for the inconvenience. Geass and Detroit continue your debate. Go ahead.
How are we gonna get judgment if he's not here?
I'm here.
Just pray to D1 spirit and hope they give you enough chocolate.
Do you want to give? Okay. Can I these niggas chill out? D1, you can give a judgment and your insight onto the point.
Y'all want to get conclusions or no?
Do you want us to?
Yeah, sure. So I don't miss anything.
Are we ending it there, or just want to summarize it thus far?
Hey, my D1, what the hell? You sound like that?
Do you have anything new you want to add, Detroit?
On that particular argument, or just like?
Yes, that particular argument.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I could say, but I'm just fine to leave it there for now.
All right, you're content with that?
Sure.
All right, yeah. Just if you don't mind, give a summary of the argument and then why you think you won that argument.
Yeah. So again, the argument I was giving was in favor of mental stuff being apart from the physical stuff, right? In other words, and the way the argument is this, right? Suppose we could imagine someone that had all the physical facts, in particular, all the sort of physical facts about color vision and brain processes and whatever you think might be relevant to experiences of color. And if color experiences were just physical things, then she would have all the facts about color experiences because she has all the facts about the relevant physical stuff. But you can imagine someone that did have all those physical facts, they don't know all the physical facts, but had never, say, experienced red or experienced any color at all, and one day does experience color for the first time. The idea is that she learns something new about color experiences. She learns what it's like to have an experience of that sort. She knows what it feels like and so on. And that's not something she already knew, right? Despite having all the physical facts in the room. And so the upshot of this argument is that if it's right, as I think it is, or as at least arguing that it is, the facts, at least those facts about experiences, are not physical facts. They've got to be something else, right? Because she would have, if they were physical facts, she would have known them, but she doesn't, right? Or she didn't before going outside. And I got a few responses from Geass here about in sort of trying to undermine this. He said something about, well, it wasn't quite clear to him what this new fact is supposed to be. And so I thought I gave a decent sort of description about, learning what it feels like to have different experiences. And I thought he gave an example already, learning what it feels like to have a beer for the first time. So I don't know why that would be in contention. He said something about, well, maybe she doesn't actually learn anything new. But I don't know why that would be. How do we explain what she apparently learns about the experiences that she didn't know before? Are we saying that either in principle there's some limitation on what physical knowledge she could have in the room? I gave some reason to think that would be incorrect in terms of what we think these physical theories could in principle target. That is all the physical phenomena. Or do you think that what the facts in question she did already know? But that just seems wrong because you could imagine her being in that room with all those physical descriptions in terms of neurons and whatever, and she still learns something new when she has that first experience for the first time. So I think, all in all, I think really the argument sort of seems pretty plausible and nothing really forceful was levied against it. That's why I think I won that point.
Damn. All right, cool. Yeah. So, basically, I think there are two issues that arrive, with the thought experiment that's presented. So mainly, the first one is that I don't believe it was substantiated that there necessitates some condition on which basically you can have facts that are known a priori or descriptions of facts and posteriori facts, so things you can know only through your first experience, right, or qualia. So I didn't hear a reason as to why this must be the case. So, or essentially why it is even plausible, right? So if there are facts that just can't be known outside of phenomenology, right, your first experience, that would justify why this supposed fact wasn't known to Barry before she first experienced it, right? And I don't know that there was an adequate reason or justification for why she must experience this thing. So this if condition, right, or this thought experiment follows. And then the other issue I had was, do we know that she even would gain a fact just from experiencing? So I try to get, I guess, a steady definition of what fact means. And I don't know that there was ever really one certain standard that was specific. And so if it's the case that there's no justification for why she must gain a new fact, it just seems that this thought experiment presupposes that she will gain a new fact, in which case there's no essentially connection between her having that first experience and there being a necessary fact gained because she saw red for the first time. I agree the experience exists. I don't know that there was ever even an explanation as to why that first experience leads to some fact, right, or some truth about reality. Yeah. So, all right. Do you want to judge?
D1, thank you for feeding us daily with the bread that you give us. Thank you for creating this amazing debating community with your philosophy knowledge, D1. I pray to you every day at 7:35 p.m., hoping that you come fuck my mom, because I want to have a brother like you, D1. Thank you.
Yeah, nah, that was completely unreal.
The fuck is wrong?
Who named him James D1 Drummond?
James D1.
All right, can we start? What's up?
Yeah, whoever did that is crazy.
Nah, that boy written is a beast, bro. Yeah. Crazy.
Can you run it up? What's up?
James the Ramadan. Yeah.
D1, I beat my mom up yesterday
Yo,
because she
yo,
didn't like
Geass, bro.
you.
Yo, Geass, bro.
D1, I
What?
punched the fuck out my sister, dog, because she said that you were a bad debater, D1. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
in you, D1.
Yeah, wait.
Please save us.
Wait.
Save us, D1.
This
Save us,
nigga's
D1,
weird.
please.
That's a
Save us,
Mar?
D1, please.
Is that
No,
the
it was
Mar?
Louis.
Anyways. Yo, should I unmute Swooz up? Yes or no?
No, kick that nigga up out of here.
Nah, bro. Yo, Swooz up, bro.
D1 worst debater in comp.
Yo, Gabriel, bro. He said you can, bro. You gotta ask Geass for your redemption. I'm sorry. But
Yo, D1, where you at, bro?
Are we done with this?
I mean, if we don't get a judgment, I don't see how we'll continue.
Well, the chart could present another argument, or you could talk about your reason as to why we should accept materialism or physicalist account of the mind.
If D1's not listening, how do we get a judgment?
Because D1 is omnipresent. His
Wow.
philosophy knowledge goes to the bound of every corner of Earth. D1
No,
is with us
no,
at all times.
the reason why D1 isn't given judgment is because he has an issue with his mom.
Right?
Damn.
What's it called?
He has a microphone issue?
Honestly,
I thought
bro,
you said
you know
mom.
Swaggy, or whatever your name is, Waggy, or whatever your name is, Haggy, or the guy with the Kanye DF.
Are you fucking retarded?
I'm gonna call you the guy with the Kanye
That
DF.
says Huey, you idiot.
He's a fucking
Okay.
Somebody ban that nigga.
Well, shut up, dummy.
Can't
Anyways, back to
read.
what I'm saying. Actually, what I'm saying, shut up, mummy. Anyways, you know what? I'll switch places with Bubbles, and then we'll just debate right now since you're debating Jester, and then whoever wins that will just debate Bubbles.
I think I
by the
already said that
way,
there's no
Zarif is not
switching in the
responding.
tournament.
Well,
Unless somebody
bro,
like fills
Bubbles.
up a spot for somebody that's not there, then yeah, but that means that this person that's filling in the spot was already not in the tournament. You're already in the tournament.
Damn.
Oh, can I
Damn.
fill a spot? I'm bored anyway.
Damn.
You'd have to. The only spot
Damn.
open right now is against Reaper.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yo, no.
Is it a real $100 or?
Ask Apollo.
Apollo,
Hey, what's good?
is that a real like prize or is it a fake prize?
No, it literally is real. I literally
Who's
announcement
applying this? Who's applying this real?
Yo,
Wait. Apollo. Bubbles
Oh,
isn't
wait.
responding to me yet.
Where's D1 at?
Bro,
Wait, what do you
Bubbles
mean
is debating
real?
Jester
Yeah.
right now. He's not gonna
Oh
respond.
yeah,
to
I
you
forgot. Me and Bubbles are debating later on Infinite Speed and our
Oh,
team. I'm gonna
God.
slam him.
Yes, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So, do you guys just want to continue from here on? Because the D1 can just judge the recording. The VC just waiting on you guys to continue.
Oh, okay. All right, sure. Yeah. Detroit, do you want to give another argument, or would you just like me to present mine?
I mean, I think it makes more sense for you to present one, but I could do one as well. Another one.
Yeah. But so, mind body problem. Do you have an issue with it?
Yeah, you're talking about like the heart problem?
Do you guys still need me? Had got a phone call, but so I heard most of Geass' conclusion. I heard your conclusion, but I already all had a summary who won that point. Basically, I didn't really hear anything confirm your argument to be this. Geass' question to things like experience is a fact itself, or is just you just experience. All right, and I didn't really hear an argument for why the experience would be a fact in itself, rather than it being a fact about the experience, right? And you at the end of your conclusion about saying that fucking if you have fucking physical facts about the world that can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you, God. We can hear you, God.
Yeah, you say you have physical facts about the world, right? That you have, bro. Who changed my fucking name to James? Bro, stop fucking.
Apollo, bro, you gotta control the trolls, bro. We giving you some activity, talent. You gotta control it.
Right.
All right, so looks like I won that. Is it okay if I present my one argument or?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, yeah, do you have a issue with the mind-body problem? The Descartes' mind-body problem?
I'm not sure. Like, Descartes construed mind and body in a way which is like almost by definition made them distinct, right? Because mind was something like res cogitans, which is non-extended substance, and the body
Body is
is
extended substance, yeah.
extended substance. So like something couldn't be one and both, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not assuming that that's true. So I'm not, fully endorsing his views about
Yeah,
mind.
but you agree. Okay. Okay, so do you agree that there's the intrinsic claim that there's interaction between the immaterial and material when we talk about mental states or some immaterial mental state affecting our physical reality?
Yeah, I think mind interacts with the world.
Okay. Yeah. Just categorically, does it not seem the case, at least on its head, that the immaterial is going to have an issue interacting with something that's material?
I don't see why that would be. Look,
Because our observations demonstrate that physical matters and the change in energy essentially is what causes interactions in the physical world.
So I'm not going to deny that we have evidence for physical interaction. I just don't see why that would undermine immaterial interaction with the physical stuff.
Yeah. But, okay, wait, hold up. My point is just to prove that physical interactions are what dominate physical interactions. Yeah.
I'm not going to dispute that. I'm not going to
Okay,
dispute
sorry.
that most kind of interactions with the physical stuff is with other physical stuff. But I
Okay, so
don't think that shows
yeah, all right,
that mental
that's easy
stuff doesn't
claps.
interact.
Yeah, that's easy claps. But that was the point of your argument, right? So as long as I purport that the majority, right, I think we agree, the majority of physical interactions are determined by physical and energy states that are changing and fluctuating, then that's all I need to prove. That means I have the preponderance of
No.
evidence. Wait, let me finish. As long as I don't need to conclusively, the point is to determine who has the likeliest or strongest argument, not to conclusively or deductively say yours is categorically or modally impossible. So as long as I have the preponderance, I have the inductively strong argument. You have that's the point of your argument, is to prove your point to some standard above mine. So my standard's higher than yours, I win.
Yeah, but I don't know. But nothing you've said supports your view over mine, right? Because again, that
Yes, it
conclusion
does.
is entirely compatible with mine. Right?
D1, are you listening? Are you listening to this?
So let me explain why. Let me explain why that is.
Yeah.
Because like on my view, right, there are many physical interactions, between physical stuff and other physical stuff. But there's also some mental interaction with physical stuff, and it's a two-way street, of course.
That's the point of your argument, though, right?
Yeah, but that's entirely consistent. But that's entirely consistent with the fact that I'm granting that most interaction with physical stuff are with other physical stuff. So what? There's still mental stuff, not physical stuff, interacting sometimes
I
with
know
physical stuff.
I know that's your claim, but that's the point of your argument, right? So if you don't fulfill that argument, right, which was the point of the last argument, and I'm showing the preponderance. Wait, Detroit, I let you go. Can you wait?
Sure.
So if I show the preponderance of, let's just say we take the set of interactions to say if we were to take a gambit, right? We look at one out of 100 interactions, 95% or whatever large percentage you want to grant to physical interactions. That means that if we're talking about brain activity and neurochemistry, there's a likelihood these interactions are going to be physical. So just off of that probability, I have the stronger argument, right? Out of the general set of interactions, the vast majority are physical, like we just established. So if you can't defend with your argumentation why we can even have mind-body problem solutions, then that means my argument's stronger than yours.
So at best, my most charitable reading of this is that you're trying to make a sort of inductive argument. Something like, look,
yeah, that's what I said explicitly, yes.
Right. So you're saying something like this. We agree that there's all these physical interactions, between physical stuff and other physical stuff. And so we just infer that all interactions with physical stuff is with other physical stuff?
No. Induction is just saying there's a stronger likelihood or a higher probability to this interaction being one of physical, which the one in question is the idea of the psyche and the body, right? Which is a mind-body problem, okay? So that we agree that's an interaction, okay? The group or the set of interactions is highly or largely likely to be physical. So if your argument does not go through, then I have the overwhelming majority of interactions. Therefore, my argument is much, much stronger than yours, just on a likely or balance of probability.
Yeah, so I'm not granting the inductive generalization. I'm also not granting the claim that we don't have.
You don't have to grant it. It's just I won. Like I'm winning the argument, so it's true. What the fuck?
No, let me explain. Right. Again, my model is going to agree with your inductive base, right? In other words, my view is going to agree that most of the interactions in question are between physical things, right? You want to say, oh, that gives us good reason to think that these other things, these other interactions are also between physical things, i.e. between mental stuff and physical stuff. But that's false on my model. They're not, and I'm not granting that inference.
Your model is based on your argumentation. If you don't win the argument, wait. We went through this 3 times. Let's just
No.
Do you have anything you want to add?
Hang on, but the success of your argument against my model doesn't require, I don't need to defend the argument in support of my model in order to refute your argument here. Right? There's nothing you said that is an argument against my model. It's because again, the inductive base I agree with.
Oh my god, the argument. No, I want to leave it to the judge.
The arguments.
I want to leave it to the judge, but the model against your model is the fact that we agree that most of the set of interactions are on a physical basis or grounds, right? So that doesn't.
But that's
it is an argument that's winning.
How can that be an argument against my model when it's something true on my model? That's something that my model entails, right?
Your model can agree in part with mine, but mine occurs more frequently or on a balance of probabilities. It occurs more likely, right? So that means that I have the stronger argument and stronger model.
Both of our models entail the same data, right? Regarding the general preponderance of physical interaction. Where they disagree is whether all physical, in particular, interaction between the mental and the physical.
You're not understanding. Let's just move on. Let's move on. Yo, Judge, can you give a judgment?
This is a basic misunderstanding of how these objective.
He's not getting it. Judge, can you give a judgment?
Yeah, conclude first. Thanks.
All right. Would you like to go first, Detroit, or would you like me to?
You go first.
All right. So we looked at the set of all interactions. I grant there's a possibility his argument will win. My argument isn't that definitively, deductively, modally, it's impossible for mind-body interaction. What I'm saying is there's a preponderance or a likelihood that the interactions we've ever observed or have ever proven in any way, which was agreed on, are physical. Yeah, they're physical interactions. So I have the likelihood that the interaction that's occurring here between the brain and you can call it the brain. I'm calling it the brain. He calls it the mind. And the body is physical. So I have the likelihood of the set of interactions. This specific one out of the set, that's what a probability is, has a higher preponderance or likelihood to be physical interactions. Okay. He has a mental interaction with the physical. That one, he lost his argument. So it's damn near 0. And even if he did, we still grant that the vast majority are physical interactions. So I went, haha, nana boo boo.
Yes, I mean this one's really straightforward to explain the error here. He tried to give an objective argument in favor of all mental physical interactions being physical interactions. The problem was that his inductive base, right, the general preponderance of interactions being physical, is something entailed by my model, right? So appealing to that in order to undermine my model is going to just do no work at all. It's just part of my model, right? So the fact that most interactions are physical is fine, right? My model just is going to disagree on whether all of them are physical, and in particular, whether mental physical interactions are physical interactions. And the the failure of his argument to undermine this position doesn't require that I really successfully defend that the mind is nothing non-physical, or that the Mary's room argument succeeds. This argument just fails on this right out the gate because it appeals to something that's already granted, in fact, entailed by my model.
Yeah.
I'll just add something. Really quickly.
This about to be easy claps.
I'll just add something really quickly, which is that.
But Geass, you actually lost the point though, like literally.
No, let's let the judge. Let's let the judge judge. Go ahead.
One more quick point about the probability here.
Sure.
That if we're granting, which I'm doing, that of the set of all interactions, right, most of them are physical interactions. I'm just granting that as true. That if you randomly selected from that set, more likely you'd pick something in the physical interaction set. That's just like a trivial factor probability. Of course, that doesn't support the inference that if you select an interaction which involves mental stuff, then more likely it'll be an interaction between physical stuff and physical stuff. In fact, that's something that's false on my model, even though the first probability statement is true. Anyway, I don't want to ramble too much about that.
Yeah, I don't understand how him appealing to your own model now denounces his argument. You want to explain why?
Sorry, was that a question?
Can I just clarify the argument? Because like the charter speaks at like the speed of fucking like he's like speaks so slow.
Okay. Right, can you repeat that question
I just clarify your argument because like D1 is trying to understand your arguments and Geass he doesn't get the arguments at all.
So my response to Geass here was just to point out that he's presenting this inductive argument. He appeals to the general preponderance of interactions in the world being between physical things in order to infer that probably mental interactions with the world are also physical interactions with the world, right? And the problem with that, or at least the main problem with that I was raising, was that my model agrees that most of the interactions in the world are between physical things, right? So appealing to that in order to infer that mental interactions with the world are also physical things is just going to carry no force against my model, right? It's just something true on my model, but the inference doesn't.
Well, his argument to have some sort of probability force would be if his argument basically demonstrates that the majority of physical interactions which are caused by other physical interactions is categorized or under the category of a mental cause for those physical interactions. But all his argument is saying is that majority of physical interactions in the world is causally interacted, or I guess you could say influenced by other physical interactions. But it could be the case that these physical interactions, all of these physical interactions within this data pool, which interacts with or influences these other physical interactions, are not mental at all, right? And if that was to be the case, then it's not going to be raising the probability of the idea that the mind is most likely material. That doesn't work. That's
Can the judge judge now? So yeah.
The judge was basically asked for clarity, so he gave his clarity, and I just clarified his arguments. Pretty simple one. Oh boy.
Yeah, Apollo, you're kind of premeditating his argument because that's kind of not what he said during the debate. Maybe you're like
I said it after he just said it. Actually.
Maybe you taking his argument a little bit further to what he was trying to get to, but that's not what he was saying.
No, it's because I expressed myself better than him. That's the reason. That's the charge's only fault is his rhetoric. But
if he didn't say that, then that's
his fault.
Hall of Fame, yeah, but that's not saying that he wasn't saying that because he said that I said that right after he just verbatim said exactly what I was saying. Right? It's granted under his view that. Go ahead, Dylan.
I can't grant that's what he was getting at if that wasn't like explained during the debate. And I asked him for what was his argument.
He verbatim said in the debate that his model grants the idea that majority of physical interactions are basically causally influenced by other physical interactions. But the point is whether majority, for one, Geass has to basically show why Majority. Wait, hold on there a second. Geass basically has to show why majority of mental interactions are influenced by physical facts, which he has not shown. He just showed why majority of physical interactions are influenced by physical facts, which doesn't really pertain to the debate about about the ontology of mental facts or the mind, I should say, and whether majority of mental interactions are causally influenced by physical facts. Thus demonstrating some form of synthetic identity between the mind and brain states or neuropsychological states or physical states, right? That's what you need to be demonstrated. Yeah.
Let me state it even simpler, right?
Wait, how is he getting 3 conclusions? What the?
Okay, whatever. Just we're gonna end it.
That's
Whatever, I don't care.
He just remember D1 is not understanding his argument. He asked for clarity, so D1 is trying to. Sorry, not D1. Destroy is trying to clarify his arguments. Very simple. All right.
Yeah, let Destroyer try to clarify, please.
Okay. Right. So, just to be clear, here's some facts about my model, right? I think that there are mental events in the world, right? There's mental experiences and so on. And sometimes those lead to interactions in the world, right? We do things because we want to do something, or and vice versa. There's some impact on us from the physical world. I'm not going to say from the physical world. However, it's also true on my model. Most of the stuff going on in the world is interactions just between purely physical stuff, right? Okay. Right, because all this stellar revolution, blah, 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 none of that's mental, but that's going to dominate the universe. Okay. Now he wants to point to the fact that, look, we agree that most of the interactions going on in the world are between physical stuff. So we're going to infer that also the interactions between mental stuff and physical stuff is just interactions between physical stuff as well. And so mental stuff is physical stuff. But that's inference is just incorrect on my model, right? I'm granting the first fact that most of the interactions are between physical stuff, but not all of them are. You just asserted that all of them are just because some are. That's not true on my model, and nothing he said gave me any reason to think that all of them would be, just because those ones are.
Yeah. There's a recording in here. I'm gonna have to check back the recording and look over that argument a little more, because I don't think that's what was actually argued debate, and I need to double check that. So for right now, I'm at point in con for now.
All right, so I get 1 point. Destroyer 0. Okay, these claps.
That seems fair.
Yeah, you did good though, Destroyer.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not a fair judgment, but I mean.
Okay, but by the way, D1, the funny thing is though, I don't have any issue with you judging in con. But I'm curious about. I didn't hear the explanation for the first points really, because I think the first point was much closer, but I didn't hear the explanation for why Geass won that one.
Oh yeah,
If you don't remember that part.
Yeah, what it was trying to grant Geass denied in the first place, and I don't think Detroit gave evidence to prove his why these experiences are actually facts instead of them just experience on their own.
Oh, so the three of you guys.
That's not even what I said.
Wait, the three of you guys. Wait, hold on there a second. The three of you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, right? So basically, I guess Detroit proposed the thought experiment, and Detroit is basically trying to establish that even if a particular agent was acquainted with all the physical facts, right, like regarding experiences and what it is like to have these private mental tropes, whatever you might call it, right, it would still be the case that the act of experiencing a red object for the first time is something which is plausibly distinct or of another epistemic category from the epistemic acquaintance one has with all the physical facts regarding experiences. And if that was to be the case, then it points out some ontological distinction. And because of this plausibility, which cannot be explained under Geass's view, then it serves a good reason to believe that there's a disparate ontology. Therefore, Detroit's view is more plausible. I don't see how Geass won that at all.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, actually, to what I was saying. Yeah, the point being that, look, she has all the physical facts. She knows all of them in the room, but she learns something new about experiences when she has this experience for the first time. She learns what it feels like.
I question that if she would.
Yeah, that's the point of distinction, that he questioned whether this thing is a fact or not, or just a base experience. And I didn't hear an argument for why it's a fact. All you said
then I
was
question if she could even do that.
Something new.
Yeah, so we discussed. I mean, I don't know if we want to really go back to this, but it was discussed.
We're getting new arguments. What the fuck?
Well, you guys can go into new arguments because the debate technically didn't really finish. Because I mean, if it is the case that the second point is in con, and it is the case that the first point is judging or Geass won, which I don't think he did, right? Then neither of the positions are being established to be true in this context, right? Because it still has to be established whether physical is true or it is true that the mind is non-physical.
D1, are you? Let me talk to the judge then. So, would you go by points, D1, if it is in con, or would we still just go on to presenting more arguments?
I mean, if the stances aren't proven, but you did win 1 point, then probably you would be declared the winner. But I still got to check back for the second point to see what was argued in Destroyer's favor, because I don't think what Apollo's saying is directly what Destroyer argued within the debate. I think he's kind of.
I didn't hear the word puzzle one time.
No, it's called clarifying. So when I clarify what Detroit is saying, it's going to sound different in the sense where I'm using slightly different word exchange or syntax, but it's still conveying the same exact idea. But as I was going to say, D1, Mr. James, are you listening? Yeah, as I was going to say, right, I was just basically clearing up the idea that the trial is basically saying that the plausibility of this thing being a new experience, which would be distinct from the other experiences that agent has an epistemic acquaintance with, would demonstrate that they aren't identical. Because remember, under Geass's view, he's basically argued that the mind and physical facts share synthetic identity, meaning that based on the traits of the mind, it is identical to physical facts, but not in a conceptual a priori sense. But under Detroit's thought experiment, basically puts that view not only puts that view into question, but presses the physicalists into a sticky situation where they can't explain or give a good explanation as to why this thought experiment would plausibly demonstrate a disparate ontology between mind and physical states, right? But obviously, you guys have your disagreements on that. So
yeah,
I
my
mean,
question is how is he presenting his stance to hold any weight if he lost the point of defending his stance in any way? If he loses that point, how is he establishing that?
Wait. I wasn't waiting on the chart. So basically, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that anyone won this debate based on the judgments thus far. Right? I'm just basically asserting that if it is the case at the first point, because remember, you guys even said that Sure could potentially go over 3 arguments, right, for the immateriality of the mind. But if it is a case that, let's say Detroit lost the first point, right? But your points regarding the truthiness of the physicalist account of the mind is also unestablished because he hasn't given any verdict in your favor with respect to you proving your position. And it's going to remain the case that both positions are unestablished from an epistemic standpoint. So then there would be no actual winner of this debate because what the debate is just proving a position and none of the positions are being proven.
I agree. I agree if it's in con, then of course, right, we would both not have a winning stance. But what I'm saying is his denial of my stance is dependent on whether he can prove his at all. So when he says,
wait. Let me. That's not correct.
Yeah, that's not correct.
My question would be, how is he defending that? Him categorically describing the mental, and I don't know how he wants to put it, but mental and physical interactions holds any weight, right? His definition what would it be based on?
I don't even understand what you're asking.
Or the truth. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it's saying. Let me clarify the truth of your definition, right? When you say, well, I grant that, or I don't grant that mind-body interactions can occur based on what, though, is kind of my question.
Right. Of course, I think that mind-body interactions can occur. So why would I be denying that?
Oh, sorry, that they can occur, forgive me.
Wait, I think this was answered because remember, Geass, when you asked him, he said that based on our intuitions,
it is plausible. The debater?
Yeah, but I'm basically saying that the question you asked was kind of like it was already answered. You've already granted that it's possible in the debate. So
let me. So can I just get clarification from the debater?
Sure, go
we
ahead.
agreed to a judge and a debater, not a second mod.
Yeah, so if you just ask me why that it's possible that mind and body interact, well, the trivial point is just the point that it's not ruled out by logic or concepts, right? So
you're arguing for logical possibility?
Yeah, very simple.
Well, I mean, when you ask me if it's possible, I mean, what are you asking?
No, wait, okay, judge. I didn't get that in the debate. Where are we deriving the standard for logical possibility now?
This
Well,
isn't
that's
something that
been
came
very
up in the debate. You
honest.
just asked me whether it's possible, and I just said it's both logically and conceptually possible. If you're asking whether it's possible in another sense, clarify which sense, and I'll tell you if I think it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
good question.
This is kind. I feel like I'm getting some clarification that wasn't given, but
But you're just
I
bringing
don't know.
this
Let
up.
me
So
let me
that's
just
Point didn't
let
come
me
up
just
in the
ask
debate,
the
so
let
I
me
don't
just ask the judge.
know why that's relevant.
I think I'm getting some clarity into arguments that wasn't stated. Maybe I'm tripping, but
Say it again.
do you feel like some of the clarity here wasn't stated before?
Yeah, that's why I
Well,
want to check.
what I just said wasn't stated before,
I
but that's because you
swear
didn't ask
I'm
me that
getting
question
like
before.
nuanced points I was not getting like a minute ago.
Yeah, I want to. That's why I
You
want to look back
just
at the
asked me
recording.
something new. That wasn't something we discussed.
Yeah,
before.
that's what I'm saying. You just brought up the possibility parts. So yeah, you're gonna get something new if you brought up something new. Chaos.
Apollo's debating for him. Oh my god! Like I did not ask
No, I'm not.
Apollo.
You're just
You
making.
repeated what I just said. You just repeated what I just
That's
said.
what I'm saying. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh my
He just
god!
said a while ago that you brought up something new. I'm just repeating what you
D1, am I
said. What are
getting
you
debate
talking
groomed right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
Are y'all continuing or you're leaving it here?
We can. So it would depend on how your judging style works. So if it is based on the point, and I win the first point and the second one's income, then that would be it. But it just depends on how your style, whether you're going
Yeah, I'll check
winning
back
off of
for the.
points or proving the stance.
Yeah, I'm gonna check back the recording for the first argument, and if you won that, then you will win. If you lost that, then it'll just be incon. Then.
Yeah, it would be tied. Wouldn't? Well, I guess
Yeah.
we both win. Okay.
Well, but do you want to go over Detroit's other arguments and your other arguments? But if you have any other arguments, Geass?
I just
Or
had
no?
one, but I could give. I don't know. I
Yeah,
could
because
make
remember
up
you
another.
guys said that you could go with 3 arguments, so it
Yeah,
would be interesting.
bro. Okay, wait. No, I'm getting debate. Detroiter, do you want to
Debate
go over
Goon,
your
the man I'm proposing an offer. What are you
D1?
talking
Am
about?
I getting debate goon?
Why are you asking D1 for
I don't.
confirmation? Can you not think for yourself,
Okay,
bro?
so
Like,
yes,
I'm just
I am.
proposing an offer.
I'm happy
But
to just share because
I'm just
I only
proposing the
had
offer with what you agree with. What are you talking about?
I only had one real argument. So Detroit, if you want to give more, you're welcome to. But I didn't really have more I wanted to present.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, no, I don't. We can go over it another time. I'm happy to leave this here.
Sure.
Whatever.
If by chance it was incon, would you want to, I guess, just restart or do something else?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
really
we
care or
got
give
this.
with these fucking debate judgments. So yeah, I don't care about that.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay. So if it's incon, I guess we would debate another time.
If you want to, it doesn't matter to me. If you want to talk about this more another time, we can talk about it another time. I don't care about the.
You're just saying you would debate any other time regardless.
That's right.
All right, cool.